last part, it's the subtle part of this whole practice where we went to commune with the Akash around our physical realm, then the emotional realm, then the thinking realm. Today is the subtlety realm. And I wanted to be very near to the waters, of course, because the waters, especially the river waters, especially that, you know, that arm of the waters is mostly very, very quiet. And you should be quiet as well into that part. You know, like by the end of the last practice with the thinking realm, it went very much into silence, and it took a little bit longer to arrive to that silence. So here you are actually very silent, and you are moving inside of that silence. So when I look inside of it and I move, I move inside of that silence. I think that I'm not sure how the how the camera is capturing it, but I actually moving inside of practice, like a practice of changing my angle of perception. So I am beneath the trees, like the light is very softly permeating through the leaves, and the waters are behind me, and I can feel that movement, like I can feel that movement. Of course, I'm hearing the sounds of the birds. I am moving inside of this space. I am you can of course sit in a cross-legged position and just meditate and listen to the messages of the Akash, but I want this message to come into my sensory body. So I want, especially here in the forest, I want that movement to permeate me. I want these leaves to look down at me and tell me what they want to tell me. And then the reflections of the waters are the reflections of my subtle waters inside of my body. And there is a tenderness towards my body, towards the flies, towards the trees, towards Baba Gaia. And then, if you are the cat goddess, and the cat goddess have so many perspectives, there are so many permeable, angles and positions and movements, it's the dancing inside of you, the dancing of the blood, the dancing of your breath, the dancing of what wants to come in. And I'm giving myself to that message. I'm giving myself to the Akashic field. I am the Akashic field. And whatever is wanting to come in, the skill of perceiving the message, and I have brought to you the processes of receiving a message, then decoding it, then translating it into a language that the other can really understand. Because when I opened the Akash, a few days ago, I opened the Akash to a Dutch woman, and she was so anxious around that she doesn't really understand English, and I cannot speak in Dutch. But the Akash was able to transfer their language, their vision through me to her with a very different language. It was almost like I'm talking to a child, but this was a 60-something woman, entering into her latest phase of life, and the Akash was behaving to her like a child. They were talking to her like a child. They were using the language that the tree would use, that the water would use, that the birds would use, that the light would use. The ants would use, the reflection of the waters would use. You know, there are so many myriads of languages. There are myriads of messages, and I want you to be aware of all of this. You know, inside of your body, inside of that system here that you feel and touch and bring into this world, but also inside of the bigger field, because there is a bigger field here. There is a bigger being of you, you know, and I want to be all of this. I want to take this dust with me at home. But don't worry, my rucksack is full of sand and leaves and stones, and it's like a child coming home, So don't worry about that. But I want you to be aware of this subtle phase of your Akashic communion, because there you will receive more. You will ask more questions, but more subtle, like not even putting them into a language. It's more like a sensational asking. It's almost like you are moving in between worlds, that you are crossing thresholds, unseen thresholds, because there are not only 12 dimensions or 9 dimensions or 8 dimensions or 5th dimensions. No, there are myriads and myriads of dimensions. You are actually, every hour of the day, there is a new dimension. There is a new light. Every second of your being, there is a new threshold to be crossed. And I want you to be aware of this, and I want to close that practice, that sacred practice of the self communion with the Akash, with this prayer that you are, and me as well, of course, you are able to, to penetrate that practice and to adapt it to your own day and inside of your own practice, wherever your lineage or your tradition or your practice is. This Akash is open for all of us. And of course, every Akashic reader, like professional Akashic reader, they will do another Akashic reading. Through me, it's a visionary Akash. It's a kind of a blueprint across all lifelines of you. And they were always saying these lifelines are existing in the moment now. They are not past, present, and future. It's non-linear. It's moving and interacting and weaving itself into each other all the time, the future, the present, the past. So don't dwell so much in any of your experiences or any of your aspirations, in any of your dreams, and even manifestational dreams, and I want this and that, and you can at one point, like this one point here, like this practice here, this last 4th leg of this practice here, you can be open. You can be open to anything that's coming in, from the Akash to the Akash, from yourself to yourself. You can call it the higher self, but you can call it also the light. You can call it God. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Source. There are so many words, and I don't care about words. What I care about is the embodiment of this world, the living of the spell, the living of the magic of that word, that action of that word. Like Isis has forced Ra to reveal his most secret name, because there is the main power, the main magic. And the Islam God, my God, I'm raised and I am a Muslim. We have the 99 names of God. So there is, how many names do you have? How many names this world have, how many names the God has, or the source has, or your soul have. I don't really believe in soul. I do believe that all of this is the soul, is the being, is the frequency that you are in this world. So don't fragment it and say this is the body, this is the soul, this is the subtle body, this is the emotional body. I just did this, these sections for you to really differentiate and have also a feeling of which section is, is differentiated and is a little bit different. But it's all of it is you are showing your heart, your being to the world, to the Akash, to the world, to yourself, to the waters, to the trees, to the green man, to Isis. And she is the magician. So what magic will you be creating today? I hope I took you on a journey that made you curious to at least try one of the phases, at least try for a few minutes, wherever you want to try, and just open your own Akash, just create your own prayer, just create your own calling, just create your own world.